and then your brain just goes off on one. And those are prime examples of situations where we're taking out of our body and we're in our minds because we're overthinking something. When you overthink, you're actually in your head, you're not in your body. So it's really important, if you do want to tap into your intuition, is that you're in your body and you're focusing on how your body feels and the signals that your body is giving you, as opposed to, you know, the logical side of your brain that's telling you, oh no, you're being paranoid. What is up, people? Welcome back or to another video. Whether you are old or new to this channel, a very, very warm welcome to you guys. So I was getting this question quite repeatedly about, how do you know when it's your instinct? So how can you differentiate your instinct as opposed to you just overthinking or being paranoid? So I thought I'd just do a little video on it moving forward. So if you are brand new around here, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a massive thumbs up. It really helps push this content out to those who are in need of a child-free community like so. And if you've been around here already and you're looking for something a little bit extra special and a little bit more, let's say, unhinged, feel free to click the join button down below for my very own membership. Everything that is accessible to you will be listed down below. So if you've been on this channel a while, you would have seen in a lot of my other videos that I have created that I talk a lot about following your intuition, knowing your instinct, and knowing that whatever your instinct tells you is correct. However, you've also seen a lot of videos where society is constantly brainwashing us to believe that we are actually paranoid and we're just being overly emotional and overthinking, which basically takes us away from our intuition and our inner knowledge that we naturally have and that we are all naturally born with. Now, society can only benefit from us in general, and specifically women, if we're not in our power, if we're not feeling, dare I say, empowered. I really hate the word because it's overused now. But you kind of get the gist. Like, they only make money out of us and they can only kind of manipulate us and coerce us if we are not sitting in our power, if we're not following our intuition, if we've like lost our own inner compass, if you will. And this video is basically, whether you've lost yours or you're trying to tap into your intuition a little bit more, I'm hoping that this video will help you moving forward. So first and foremost, how do you know if it's your instinct? Well, you've probably felt this loads of times before, but you've just been trained by society and brainwashed and conditioned to actually ignore it. So what I want you to do is go back to a time where you felt a certain way about a situation or a specific person, and let me know in the comments down below how you felt in your body, okay? Not just in your mind, not just like, oh, I don't like this, but I want to know how you felt. So where did you feel it? Now, the most typical way to feel it is actually in your gut, like in your pit of your stomach, because obviously there's a saying like, I had a gut instinct or a gut feeling or a gut sensation about something. And that is obviously the main, kind of like the majority of people where they feel it, but you might feel it somewhere else. So I've said this before in other videos, I feel it in my chest. I feel it like really restricted, like someone's almost like pressing down on my throat here. I feel like someone's pressing down on my chest, but this might be completely different for you guys. So it's really important to tap into your own intuition because it will come up differently for you guys compared to everybody else. But I want you most importantly to think back to a time where you felt really uneasy about someone or something or a situation or a place that you went to and you were like, oh, something just feels a bit funny here. And I'm not saying looks funny or sounds funny or smells funny. I'm thinking like, I mean literally like feels unsettling in yourself. And that was your intuition. And whether you followed it in the time or not is a different story, but I want you to remember that feeling and that sensation and be like, oh yeah, I remember I felt this particular way about XYZ situation or person, and then I didn't follow it because I thought I was being paranoid, and then the shit hit the fan, which I'm sure you've probably experienced before. That is what I want you guys to remember and to tap back into, and to never, ever ignore that feeling ever again, because that was not you being paranoid, that was not you overthinking, that was not you being overly anxious or overly cautious. That was literally your body trying to tell you something in that moment. Now, of course, as with anything, if you're not used to listening to your intuition or letting it guide you with certain things, you may get to a point where you feel like you're like overly tapped in or you're not tapped in enough. So it's important to find that balance and to meet in the middle, because what some people do is they're like so heightened by trying so hard to tap into their intuition that they just suspect everything and everyone. So I don't want you guys to get into that trap. Now, these are some ways that you can heighten your intuition that could help moving forward. Now, with myself, I've always felt like it's naturally there. Because my 12th house of intuition and inner knowledge is like my busiest house on my birth chart. So for me, I feel like it's naturally there. But for some people, they may kind of need it refining a little bit more, but 100% it is there. And one of my best friends is actually a psychic, and she even said to me, it is there, and everybody even has psychic abilities as well, but it's just the way we've been conditioned as human beings to just ignore that and call it bullshit, or call it like, oh, woo-woo, or whatever people call it as. And that's why as a human race, we've kind of, you know, gone away from our intuition and our psychic senses, because society's constantly telling us like, that's a load of shit, that's bollocks, like that's not logical, etc., etc. So it's really important, if you do want to try and hone in on it a little bit more and improve your own inner knowledge, where you feel like, I'm not quite sure it's there, I'm not quite sure I 100% trust it yet, I don't know whether there's a fine line between it's like me overthinking or being anxious, then one of the best ways to actually channel into that is to try either mindfulness or meditation. Now, I use both of these as examples because it's whatever works best for you as an individual. Now, a lot of people do meditation where they put like a guided meditation in via their earphones, and they just listen to a guided meditation. There's plenty on YouTube there. Now, I did this a lot during lockdown because I felt like, you know, I went through like my dark night of the soul. So I felt like it really helped me at the time, but now I don't think it's something I can benefit from. It's just not my cup of tea at all, just sitting there and breathing. However, breathing and any kind of breathing techniques can also really, really help you just, not even just improve your intuition, but actually just, you know, have you sit with yourself. You do know what I'm saying? Like, have yourself mind quieten down and not think about, you know, your daily chores or your job, or, you know, you have to feed the cat or the dog, or, you know, you've got XYZ to do or emails to respond to. It just takes you away from the day-to-day hustle that we're all kind of shoved into every single day. Now, I'm by no means any kind of spiritual professional, nor am I claiming to be. I'm just going off stuff that has seriously worked for me and has really helped me hone in on my intuition, but also helped me quieten my mind and just help my general day-to-day mindset. So another thing that can help, if you don't like to sit there and meditate, like you know, how the stereotypical like meditation goes, you don't have to. You can just practice mindfulness, and mindfulness is just being present in the actual moment. So you can do this through journaling. You can do this through doing mundane tasks like just your daily chores around the house, just as long as you're fully focused on what you're doing and you're not stressing about something else on your mind, and you're not kind of, while you're doing the washing or the dishes or the hoovering, you're not kind of stressing about that email that you didn't respond to, or, you know, how you're going to respond to that text message from that person that you're seeing, you know, etc. Just stuff like this. The whole point of mindfulness is that you're actually in the moment and you're sitting with your own thoughts, and you're not kind of preoccupied with other shit that doesn't need to be preoccupied with in that moment. It's all about just being in the moment, and there are several other ways that you can be mindful, whether that's going to the gym, going for a run, going on a long walk. You know, you can do something more in the house if that makes a difference. So it could be like coloring in, it could be like sewing or gardening or any of these things, as long as you're present in the moment. And the whole reason this actually helps is because you are sitting with yourself. You're understanding who you are. You're focused on you. You're not focused on what's around you, or, you know, people around you and what they said to you yesterday or last year or last month. Or you're not focused on like, oh, I need to respond to that text message, or I'm not sure I've read that properly. You know, we go into these spirals when we're just, you know, in our day-to-day life, where we start getting in. That's why people say like, get out of your head and into your body. That is literally where the saying comes from, because if you're constantly in your head regurgitating all these 1,000,001 thoughts that we have every single day, and, you know, you're constantly like paranoid about like, oh, you know, did I read that text message wrong? Did I write that text message wrong? Oh my God, are they offended by what I said? Did I say XYZ? Did I say that? And these are natural thoughts that go through loads of people's minds every single day. And then your brain just goes off on one, And those are prime examples of situations where we're taking out of our body and we're in our minds because we're overthinking something. When you overthink, you're actually in your head, you're not in your body. So it's really important, if you do want to tap into your intuition, is that you're in your body and you're focusing on how your body feels and the signals that your body is giving you, as opposed to, you know, the logical side of your brain that's telling you, oh no, you're being paranoid, you're being an idiot, you sound like this, you sound like that. Because this is where we end up spiraling and we end up actually overthinking, which takes us out of our bodies and into our minds. So I want to hear from you guys. What is it that you're going to do to tap into your inner intuition a little bit more? What has worked for you in the past? Maybe you've worked with someone one-on-one, maybe you've had a dark night of the soul or a spiritual awakening and something has really worked for you. I'd love to hear your story down below. And just remember, you never know who you're helping as well. So something you may have tried or you may have previously turned your nose up to actually really worked for you, and somebody else might want to give that a go as well. But just remember, everyone's journey is individual, everybody's experiences are completely individual. But I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't already, and make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a massive thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.